Hello and welcome to the PNKY Brainrot Bookworms podcast, where we love brainrot and we love to read book. My name is Christian Felix, and alongside me I have Ramen
Hello.
and Tremont Dotson.
Howdy, how you do?
Today we're gonna talk about the book we chose for our book club, called "The Road" by Cormac McCarthy. And to start us off, how did each of you guys feel about the book?
So, starting the book off, I felt like it was very tame. I was still trying to get a feel for the environment and get a good image of what I should think it looked like with the ash and the snow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Tremont?
Honestly, I thought the book was kind of very edgy. I thought it was kind of cool, like going into it. Like I like just the title and like the cover and all that. I didn't expect it to be like some kind of post-apocalyptic world and all that. I thought it'd be like I don't know
Right,
something chill. That caught me off
right,
guard.
right. I
Honestly,
thought, well, when I first started reading it, like I was like not very much into it. Like when we had that first book club meeting, like the pages we had to read, I was not that interested. I had to like use the audiobook just to like focus on the book. But I mean, as I kept reading, like there was just some twists that I guess added value like and I basically like drew me in.
it's understandable. Understandable. I think it's very valid.
Yeah. All right.
So,
So for you guys, what were like? All right. What was like the main like event that you know what was like the most interesting event that happened in the book? Ramen.
so I think the most interesting event that happened was probably the fact that they were able to find a bunker with many resources that they needed because they were struggling so hard right before that bunker, and it kind of like reset them and almost gave them a push to continue going south on the road
All right.
or north.
North. They
Oh
were
yeah,
going
like
north.
they were going south, no?
No, they were going. Oh, they were going south.
They were going south, but
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like before they found it, like they were they were like dying. They were tired. They were hopeless. And
Yeah.
then I guess that bunker just gave them like a little bit, like a sense of hope, basically.
Yeah.
Any major event for you, Tremont?
Personally, for me, honestly, well, I think the obviously the biggest major event will probably be the ending. How the dad died. That was pretty crazy.
Right.
But as far as like favorite event, I can probably agree with Ramon and how they find the bunker, or maybe how the dad had to kill the guy because he tried to because he had to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that part. Yeah. That actually was crazy.
Honestly,
Like imagine and then imagine like the trauma that kid had to go through.
honestly,
Like just the image of him like
imagine seeing your
seeing
dad kill
someone
someone.
die, and then at his age too.
Exactly, imagine seeing your dad kill someone.
Yep. For me, I think it was when they found that what was it called, the basement, like full of like naked people and all that. Like dude,
Mm,
like I, like I don't want to say it, but like I could just you know picture that, like, oh, that's crazy, like a
yeah,
basement full of naked cannibals. I think they were cannibals, right?
yeah. I think they mentioned how there were some cannibals along the road as well, just because the food was so scarce. So that was
Yeah.
the only thing they could eat.
Or no, the people. I don't think the people in the basement were cannibals. They were like being held captive, I think. But yeah, and
Mm,
that was like Like for me that was like or it wasn't the most, but it was like dude, like
A
just like the
crazy.
imagery on there.
Yeah.
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 All right. So for you guys, were there like any like key themes that you might have thought of as you were reading the book?
So I think of a very important theme was hope because they were just traveling one direction with hard to get resources, and along the way they is a lot.
Right.
So it's kind of like they have to have a lot of hope for what's to come when they travel, or hope they
Right.
don't have to get into anything too dangerous while traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm gonna, before you talk to me, I want to add a little bit to that. Um, because throughout the story they brought up a lot of like religion. They brought up like God a couple times.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So I think hope, like having faith, also played into that hope theme that you were talking about, Ramen.
No, definitely. Do you think that, like, with that, do you think that, like, maybe this, like, cling to religion maybe help them get through the apocalypse? You know, like help them survive a little bit
Um,
longer, maybe.
I think, yeah, I think because,
Like possibly
well, I mean,
without,
it wasn't like,
like possibly without like religion, they might have gave up a little bit sooner. They might have had a little bit less will to live.
yeah. I mean, I think that was like a key factor,
Yeah.
but um, another thing that fed into like that sense of hope was when they would like talk about like carrying the fire,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
I know that was brought up like multiple times.
Yeah.
So I think like those two together brought out that sense of hope to like keep pushing forward to the south, basically.
No, no, I definitely get you.
So I think that for the religion part, I think mostly the dad was very religious. He brought up God multiple times,
Yep.
and I guess the little kid, he was learning it probably from his dad.
Definitely.
Since he
Hmm.
was younger,
Like father,
he
like
he
son.
didn't know much, but I think it did give the dad more of a will to continue going, and I guess more hope
What do you mean,
that
like seeing
God
his
would bring him.
son like become religious, or what do you mean? Or like God gave him this the dad hope.
No, yeah, God giving the dad hope to
Yeah.
continue going and give them that safety that they need.
Okay, I get you. I get you. I can understand where you're coming from.
Were there any key themes that you thought of during the book, trauma?
What do you mean?
Like, like what was like a main key theme or like a main idea that you had, or any verses, any clashes?
Like, give me an example. Like, I'm a little bit confused right now. Give me an example.
Okay, so because he just brought up like sense of like hopefulness and all that.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Um,
Like, maybe a key theme is probably maybe like the opposite of that, like the sense of like dread, because obviously it's in like with like hopefulness, like there's obviously like the contrast with that with the apocalyptic theme. There's obviously like dread and like hopelessness. Like, what if we don't make it out alive? It's obviously like doubt and all that. So maybe that's like
right,
the contrasting
and
theme to Ramones.
mhm. Yeah, I like that you brought that up because there was a part in the book where the son,
Yeah,
like, there was a point where he didn't care if he died, and the father like didn't like that his son was thinking that way, and basically like he was just telling him like basically have hope, like don't think that way because they're gonna get through that.
Definitely, yeah.
I think also tying back to that was I'm pretty sure there was a flashback where his wife or the son's mother was still with them and they're talking about what they should do and the mother thinks that they should just use the gun to finish them off and
Oh
not
yeah,
have to deal with the rest of the what's left.
right,
So that kind of also gives like a clash between foolishness and hope
hmm,
because are they foolish that they're still continuing with what they have left or should they have that hope and continue going?
right, yeah. And then I think it kind of hinted at the mom basically like killing herself
Right.
because I think it said like she walked out on them,
Yeah.
but with the
I
gun
think
thing obviously and all that.
I think the mother kind of was already telling them in a way because at the end of that conversation the son says she's gone, isn't she? Which kind of gives you that sense that she's not coming back, or maybe she's already had that talk with them that she was gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Like he didn't
she
like
already
expect
informed
much
them
from
about
her,
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they brought up suicide again because I remember I think it was that basement part again, but this time I think they were getting chased,
Yeah.
and then there was this part where like the father taught the son how to like basically kill himself,
Yeah. Boy, I don't
which was
I don't
Mm,
mean to like cut us off here, but I feel like we've been talking about these characters for like a little minute now, and like we all like read the book honestly. So can we like give them names? You know?
names.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
So like, what do we think?
Because
What do we think?
out throughout the whole book, I was surprised that they didn't share a name with anyone.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right. Yeah, they were just father and son.
And even like the mother too. We can like give her a name
All of
honestly.
them.
Or
Okay.
even when we get like
Um.
maybe even like the end of the book, we can maybe give like the son's rescuer a name. The freaking old dude who rescued the son at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for the main two characters, I'd probably say the dad's name is Tom,
Tom.
Tom.
and the son's name
Tom.
is. I feel like Kenneth. He's just giving me
Kenneth?
Kenneth.
Kenneth
No
vibes.
way.
I was thinking like Timothy or
I have a
something.
freaking coworker named Kenneth. Timothy, low key, yeah. I can get like Timothy vibes from the son. Maybe like the dad is like I don't know. Maybe like a Daniel.
Okay. I think a key detail in the story that people may have brushed past is when the son had encountered another kid along the road and
Uh,
he had that empathy to tell his dad that he wanted to help him and maybe he's lost. So I feel like I can relate to him because when it comes to, for example, homeless people on the side of the road, I I just feel bad for them and I just want to help them in some sort of way because seeing them in that position,
Yeah.
it kind of hurts me.
right.
Really, I didn't know you were so empathetic, Ramon.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Were there any other key themes that you guys might have
Now,
thought
how
of?
about you?
Or
Cause I feel like
me?
yeah, any key things that you might have seen? Cause
Um,
I heard that me and Ramon, but we haven't heard yours yet.
I think, well, not really like a key theme, but like, you know, it's more of like, I guess it's crazy how humanity like has like crashed basically
Yeah, that's
in a
pretty
sense.
crazy.
post-apocalyptic, like can you just like imagine like having to go through that, like cannibals,
Yeah, it's probably
having to like,
probably massive.
you know hmm
It's crazy, like having to wear masks and just the thought of like burned America.
Yeah,
exactly, like
Like
it's very true.
how was the heat? Like I wonder how it's snowing.
Freaking crazy. It's
How
massive. It's freaking actually.
I would just picture like very gray days and lots of ash.
No, actually, and then like the freaking constant gas mask when you gotta go outside. Gotta freaking deal with the freaking
Yeah.
raiders, bandits. Have you ever seen the game 60 Seconds?
right. Oh
That's
yes,
what that.
yes.
That's what this book reminds me of.
Another game that like kind of reminds me of this book. It's called The Walking Dead. Not the
Mm.
show, but the video game
Oh, with
Yeah.
freaking the black girl and the
with
dude.
Lee,
Yeah,
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 Lee and Clementine.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
That
Clementine, she's too iconic.
yeah, that like those two kind of remind me of the father and the son in the book,
Definitely.
and yeah, just like in the ending in the game,
My fault.
kind of resembles the ending in the
Weird
book.
question.
Go ahead.
Who do we think is the main antagonist of this book? Just like the is it? Do you think it's like the theme of man versus nature, man versus man, or like man versus what? What do we think like the main antagonist is in the book? Man versus nature.
I think, yeah, I think it's probably
Yeah, I'm
man
getting
versus
man
nature.
versus man.
Man versus
Oh,
man. Who do you wait?
I think man versus man just because like I feel like
You think it's like him
yes,
against the
nature is
raiders
playing a
or
big
Oh,
part
like
because of the resources
yeah,
and such, but I feel like what's more dangerous is the the people around them because they don't know who they can trust. So they're
true.
to themselves, and
mm,
if they could trust everyone, then everyone could just come together and they would be more safe.
that's very
Right.
true. Especially with the him having to kill the dude.
True.
Right.
The perfect example
But
And
of
you
the,
could
that.
also argue, or oh, sorry.
No. You
What?
yeah. I was ending. You can go.
go ahead.
Like you could also argue that like man versus nature is just like their environment,
Yeah, honestly.
and it's snowing. Like before they were at the basement, like they were like cold and all that, and they had to like you know
Yeah.
they it was difficult for them to like stay warm like at times.
No, I definitely get you. I definitely get you. I think
Also with the rain.
I'm more side a little bit of
Oh, in the
Christian
rain.
honestly. I mean, yeah, I think I'm more side a little bit Christian with the whole man versus nature thingy honestly.
Yeah.
But you can make an argument for both.
You definitely can. You definitely can. So going back to the whole theme of like worthlessness and all that, did you guys expect the dad to like die or like die the way he did actually?
So I think as far as that, honestly, I felt like the dad wasn't gonna die that way. I thought he would die maybe to like the altercation or maybe the weather, maybe something to do with another person. But I guess they did hint at his illness through various times of him coughing in the
Right.
story.
Hmm.
I How do you guys
So it
feel?
was
Maybe like when he died. What do you guys like? Cause I feel like for me, like it felt like a very like sad thing, like the dad leaving the son. Like I know, like a little bit spoiler for anyone who hasn't read the book, but like later the son gets picked up and all that by the dude, but like the dad leaving his son, it's so sad, honestly.
I think it's very sad honestly, but what's even more sad is thinking about like the son losing his second parent
Actually,
and the only
Right.
person he
like
had.
imagine no, like think about yourself right now. Like imagine if you lost one parent. Maybe you freaking like did not care about him because maybe gone at birth. You know how some people are. And then, but imagine like losing your freaking only other one. I
Right.
feel like I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
I freaking love my mom.
As well.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of there was this game that I watched the playthrough and I even played it myself. It was called The Walking Dead.
Really?
Mm.
What was it
Yeah,
about?
and it was like a zombie apocalypse. But there
Oh,
was these two main characters, Lee and Clementine,
yeah.
and basically, they kind of went through that same thing, like a post-apocalyptic world.
Oh,
And the ending kind of reminded me of this book's ending, where like Lee was he was bit and he was sick, and basically like Clementine was forced to like let him go
how did that remind you about this ending?
because I mean the father, like, he also like was sick, like his health was declining like near the end, and then it finally caught up to him, and like kind of like how Clementine went through that, the son had to he had to fend for himself.
Yeah, I get you.
And like, yeah, like in the game,
Yeah.
um Clementine had to find like another family, and that's basically what happened with the son. And
Yeah, I like that. That does tie like really good back into the book, honestly.
then yeah, and then also
I gotta check
like,
this game out.
yeah, and then they also brought up again before the dad died, like how he had to like carry the fire. And I
Right. I
think,
think that's a very important
Yeah.
term that they use a lot in the story. Also, when the son gets found, the old man mentions carrying the fire, which I feel like it's like a universal term that they use.
Symbolism.
so in the ending, the boy was able to find a family that took him in.
Yeah.
And I find
Right.
it interesting that the the man that like took him in
Yeah.
also brought up like about carrying the fire, because
Mm.
it's repeated like many times throughout the story. And I think what that means is like, I guess there's other people that also have like that hope
Yeah.
and that willingness to survive.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what they mean by carrying the fire, like carrying that faith, that hope that that it'll get better maybe at some point, maybe not now, maybe not like in 10, 20 years, but they still have hope for like humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to know like what your guys' thoughts are on how
So
it's ending too.
I think with the ending, honestly, it's a big cliffhanger for us because we never really get to see what happens with the kid besides the fact that he gets taken in by another family,
All right.
which is good, obviously, but we don't get to see what happens after, so we're just assuming that they end up carrying the fire
Yeah.
and survive.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that the best word to summarize this book is hope.
Why hope?
Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I
Because
think that's the best word.
I mean, just because like they reference carrying the fire and how that relates to like hope, carrying the faith, you know?
Yeah. I think I can agree with you on that one.
And that's all we have for today. Thanks for listening. This was Pinky Brainrot Bookworms podcast. And Pinky on me, Pinky on three. 1, 2, 3, Pinky.
Thank you.
If I had $1 for every time these hate, I'd be rich like Jen, yeah. I got rich with baby face. We came up just make a play. And I feel just like Beyonce. Slush saying my name.